The Oak Ridge Hotel was known for its elegance and welcoming atmosphere. Its tall glass doors reflected the morning sun, and the marble floors shone as if they were polished every minute. Guests moved gracefully through the lobby, some checking in, others hurrying to breakfast while a few lingered to admire the grand chandelier that hung in the center. It was a busy morning, but the hotel staff handled it with practiced ease. Maria held Daniel's hand as they walked through the lobby. She was 6 months pregnant, her belly round and soft beneath the comfortable maternity dress she wore. Her dark hair was pulled back in a simple braid, and her face glowed with a gentle calm. Daniel walked beside her, tall and confident, carrying their small bag with ease. His suit was simple but elegant, and his eyes, always observant, scanned the busy lobby to make sure Maria moved safely. The couple had chosen the Oak Ridge Hotel because of its reputation. Daniel wanted everything perfect for Maria's birthday, which was just a few days away. He had booked a corner suite with a view of the city park and had requested a small surprise for Maria in the room. They had been traveling for several hours, and the hotel was the perfect place to rest. Tom, a young waiter in his early 20s, was hurrying across the lobby with a tray full of water glasses. His uniform was neat, but his nervous hands betrayed his anxiety. It was his first week working at the Oak Ridge, and he wanted to impress the guests and his managers. The tray wobbled slightly as he moved quickly through the crowd, trying to avoid bumping into anyone. As he turned a corner near the seating area, his foot caught on a small decorative rug that had been placed to protect the floor. Time seemed to slow as Tom lost his balance. The tray tipped and one of the glasses of water flew into the air, spinning as if it had a life of its own. Maria did not see it immediately. She was speaking softly to Daniel, pointing at the flower arrangement near the reception desk. But before she could turn, the water hit her with a sudden splash, soaking the front of her dress and trickling down her arms. "Oh my goodness," Maria gasped, stepping back instinctively. Her hand went to her belly to make sure the baby was safe. Daniel's eyes widened as he reached for a napkin from his pocket. Tom's face turned crimson. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to. Are you okay, ma'am?" he stammered. He rushed forward, grabbing napkins from the nearby counter and trying to dab the water from her dress, but his movements were clumsy with panic. Maria took a deep breath and tried to calm herself. "I'm all right," she said gently, though her dress was soaked. She did not want to make the situation worse. The lobby had grown quiet for a moment as a few guests paused to watch the commotion. Daniel smiled reassuringly at Maria, though his eyes were alert. "It's okay, Maria. It's just water. Nothing happened," he said. His calm voice helped Maria regain some composure. Tom continued to apologize, his hands shaking. "I'm really, really sorry. I was trying to be careful, but I tripped. I didn't mean to." Maria held up her hand. "It's all right. Accidents happen," she said softly. Her voice was calm, but she felt a mix of embarrassment and irritation. She did not want to cause a scene in front of the guests, but the moment had left her startled and wet. Daniel nodded to Tom, showing understanding. "Thank you for apologizing. Just be careful next time," he said. His calm and measured words seemed to soothe Tom a little, though the young waiter still looked terrified. One of the other waiters quickly brought a fresh glass of water to Maria and a towel. She accepted them with a small smile. "Thank you," she said. The gesture helped Tom feel less anxious, but he could not stop worrying that he might have ruined his first impression at work. Maria and Daniel stepped aside near a corner of the lobby, where the sunlight poured through the tall windows. Maria wiped her face gently, letting the warmth of the sun dry the water on her dress. Daniel held her hand firmly, his eyes scanning the lobby to make sure the staff had returned to their duties and that the guests were not overly concerned. Tom lingered nearby, unsure if he should leave or continue apologizing. His manager appeared shortly after, her face showing concern as she approached. "Tom, are you all right?" she asked quietly, glancing at Maria and Daniel. Tom nodded quickly. "Yes, ma'am, His words faltered as he looked at the couple. He could see that Maria was calm now, and Daniel's eyes were kind, not angry. Maria noticed the young man's fear and said gently, It's okay. Really, it was an accident. You don't need to worry. Her voice was warm and forgiving, and it surprised Tom. He had expected anger, but instead, he found understanding. Daniel smiled at Tom. Accidents happen. The important thing is how you respond. Tom's hands relaxed slightly, though he still felt nervous. He nodded, bowing his head in gratitude. Thank you, sir. I will be more careful. Maria and Daniel slowly walked toward the reception desk to check in. Maria's dress was damp, but her smile returned as she thought about the rest of their stay. Daniel had promised her a quiet and beautiful weekend, and she was determined not to let a small accident ruin the mood. Tom watched them leave, feeling a mix of relief and continued worry. He knew he had made a mistake, but the couple's kindness had made a lasting impression. He promised himself to work harder and be more careful in the future. As Maria and Daniel moved toward the elevators, Daniel whispered, "Don't let it bother you. It's just water. Everything else will be perfect." Maria nodded, her hand resting gently on her belly, feeling the small movements of their baby. She smiled, grateful for Daniel's calm presence and the unexpected lesson in forgiveness they had just witnessed. The lobby returned to its usual rhythm. Guests resumed their activities, staff moved with practiced efficiency, and the sunlight continued to stream through the glass doors. But for Tom, the memory of the water accident and the couple's kindness would remain a powerful reminder of patience, humility, and the importance of staying calm, even in moments of panic. After the water incident, the lobby gradually returned to its usual calm rhythm. Guests walked past with their luggage, staff hurried quietly from one corner to another, and the sunlight spilled across the marble floor, casting warm patterns on the walls. Maria and Daniel had reached the elevators, their hands still gently clasped. Maria adjusted her damp dress and smiled faintly. She felt a strange mix of embarrassment and relief. "Are you sure you are okay?" Daniel asked, glancing at her with concern. His eyes were kind and his voice steady, as if he wanted to reassure her more than himself. Maria nodded. "Yes, I am fine," she said softly. "It was just a little water. The baby is fine and I feel okay. We just need to get to our room." The elevator doors opened with a quiet chime and the couple stepped inside. Maria leaned slightly against Daniel, letting the motion of the elevator soothe her nerves. As the doors closed, she took a deep breath and let herself smile. Meanwhile, Tom stood near the lobby desk, still shaken from the incident. His manager, Ms. Reed, placed a hand on his shoulder. "Tom, go take a moment, calm down. You handled it as best as you could under the circumstances." Tom nodded quickly, but he could not shake the feeling of unease. He replayed the accident in his mind, remembering the splash of water, Maria's startled expression, and the quick apologies he had made. His stomach knotted at the thought of disappointing his managers or the guests. "I know I was careful," Tom said quietly, almost to himself. "I didn't mean it. I didn't want to make a mistake like that." Ms. Reed gave a small, understanding smile. "Accidents happen, Tom. Everyone makes mistakes. What matters is that you apologize sincerely. That is what makes a person respected." Her words gave Tom some comfort, but he could still feel the weight of the embarrassment. He had worked hard to get this job, hoping to show that he could handle responsibilities and serve guests well. A simple accident had shaken his confidence more than he expected. Back in their suite, Maria and Daniel settled in after checking in. The room was beautiful, with large windows overlooking the city park. Soft sunlight filled the space and the bed was neatly made with crisp white sheets. Daniel opened the small balcony door, letting in fresh air and the faint scent of blooming flowers from the park below. Maria placed her hand on her belly, feeling the baby move. She smiled and turned to Daniel. "It is a wonderful room," she said. "Thank you for arranging this. I feel better already." Daniel smiled back, brushing a strand of hair from her face. "I wanted it to be perfect for you. Accidents happen, but nothing can ruin this moment." The couple spent a few minutes relaxing, talking quietly about their plans for the weekend. Maria felt grateful for Daniel's patience and calmness, realizing that his steady presence had helped her recover from the stressful incident in the lobby. Meanwhile, Tom's manager called him into her office for a private conversation. He felt nervous again, expecting a scolding. But as he entered, he noticed the room was quiet and welcoming, with soft lighting and a few chairs neatly arranged. "Tom, I want to talk to you about what happened this morning," Ms. Reed began. "You were very nervous, but you handled the situation with care. Maria and her husband were very understanding." "That shows character," Tom blinked in surprise. I thought I ruined everything," he admitted. "I spilled water on her and I was so scared." Ms. Reed nodded. "Yes, it was a mistake, but what you did afterward mattered more. You apologized, you stayed calm, and you tried to help. That is exactly what we value in our staff. Do you understand?" Tom felt his shoulders relax slightly. "Yes, ma'am. I understand. I will try to be more careful in the future." "Good," Ms. Reed said, smiling. "Now take a moment, breathe, learn from this, and remember, one small mistake does not define your work or your abilities." Tom left the office feeling a little lighter. He returned to the lobby still feeling nervous but also inspired to continue doing his best. He reminded himself that everyone makes mistakes, and what matters most is how he learned from them. Later, Maria and Daniel decided to explore the hotel. They walked through the hallways, admiring the art on the walls and the comfortable seating areas placed throughout the floors. Maria paused to look at a small fountain in the corner of the lounge. Water trickled gently over smooth stones, creating a soothing sound that made her feel calm. "This place is really beautiful," Maria said softly. Daniel nodded, smiling at her enthusiasm. They passed a few guests who smiled politely at them. The incident in the lobby seemed like a distant memory now, replaced by the elegance and comfort of the hotel. Maria felt grateful that the young waiter had apologized sincerely, and that Daniel had kept her calm during the situation. Back in the lobby, Tom continued his work. Each time he passed the front desk or delivered water to the guests, he remembered Maria's gentle words and the patience of her husband. It reminded him that even when mistakes happen, kindness and understanding can turn a difficult situation into a learning experience. Tom's manager approached him again later in the afternoon. "Tom, the guests you helped today have mentioned your attentiveness. You may have made a small mistake, but your dedication did not go unnoticed." Tom's eyes widened. "Really?" he asked, surprised. "Yes," Ms. Reed said. "It shows that your sincerity and effort matter more than a single accident. Keep that in mind every day." Tom felt a sense of pride and determination grow inside him. He realized that he wanted to do his best not just for the guests, but also for himself, to learn and improve constantly. As evening approached, Maria and Daniel returned to their suite. The sun had set, painting the sky with shades of orange and pink. Maria opened the window and let the cool evening air brush her face. She smiled, thinking about how the day had started with a small accident but had ended with comfort and peace. Daniel joined her at the window. "I think tomorrow will be a wonderful day," he said. "We can enjoy breakfast, take a walk in the park, and relax. Nothing will spoil it." Maria nodded, resting her head on his shoulder. "I am glad we came here. Even the little challenges seem smaller when we are together." In the lobby below, Tom finished his shift. He felt exhausted but satisfied. Today had been difficult, but he had learned something important. Apologizing sincerely, staying calm, and learning from mistakes were more valuable than avoiding mistakes entirely. As he left the lobby to clock out, Tom took a deep breath and looked up at the lights of the Oak Ridge Hotel. He felt inspired to return tomorrow, to do his best and to grow as a person and as a worker. For Maria and Daniel, the water incident was already becoming a distant memory. They focused on the present, the comfort of their suite, and the promise of a peaceful and happy weekend. They had learned something as well: patience, understanding, and calmness can turn even small accidents into lessons of kindness and grace. The Oak Ridge Hotel continued its quiet elegance, its staff working diligently, guests moving through its halls, and the sunlight and shadows creating a calm, welcoming atmosphere. For everyone, the day had been full of learning, reflection, and understanding. A simple mistake had shown that patience and kindness could make a lasting impact on everyone involved. The next morning, the Oak Ridge Hotel lobby was filled with a soft golden light. Guests moved quietly through the polished marble floors, their footsteps echoing gently against the high ceilings. The scent of fresh flowers from the lobby arrangements mixed with the aroma of breakfast from the hotel cafe. Maria and Daniel were walking through the lobby, ready to enjoy their morning after a restful night in their suite. Maria adjusted her dress as she glanced around the lobby. She felt calm now, the water incident from the day before already fading in her memory. Daniel, walking beside her, held her hand gently. "Let's enjoy the morning," he said, smiling. "No worries today." Meanwhile, Tom was already at work, feeling a mix of nervousness and determination. He had been thinking about yesterday's accident all night, promising himself to be more careful and attentive. His manager, Ms. Reed, had reassured him, but he still wanted to prove that he could perform his duties perfectly. As Tom was arranging glasses on a tray, a bell rang from the front desk. One of the hotel managers appeared, signaling for him. Tom's stomach tightened. What now? He thought, worried that he might be in trouble despite yesterday's apology. "Tom, come with me," the manager said. Her tone was calm but firm. Tom followed, his heart beating faster with each step. He tried to keep his posture straight, but his mind raced with all the possibilities. They walked quietly through the lobby and into a private elevator, which took them up to the executive floors. Tom felt a sense of unease, imagining that he was about to face a serious reprimand. When the elevator doors opened, he saw a suite at the end of the hall. Standing there were Daniel and Maria. Tom froze. Daniel greeted him with a warm smile. "Good morning, Tom," he said. His voice was calm and steady, completely unlike the nervous thoughts running through Tom's mind. "Please come in. We wanted to speak with you." Tom stepped inside cautiously, feeling both surprised and nervous. Maria was standing near a table holding a cup of tea, and she smiled gently at him. "Good morning, Tom," she said softly. "You don't need to be afraid. We just want to talk." Tom's hands shook slightly, and he felt a wave of embarrassment wash over him. "I thought I did something wrong yesterday," he stammered. "I spilled water. I was careless." Daniel shook his head slowly, a gentle smile on his face. "Tom, accidents happen. Yesterday's incident was just that, an accident. We saw that you apologized sincerely, and that is what matters. You acted with honesty and care." Tom blinked, unsure how to respond. He had expected anger or disappointment, but instead, he saw kindness and understanding. His body relaxed slightly, though his mind remained curious. Then Daniel said something that made Tom freeze completely. "Actually, there is something I want to share with you," Daniel continued. "My family owns the Oak Ridge hotel chain. You have been working at one of my properties." Tom's mouth went dry. He could hardly believe what he was hearing. "You own this hotel?" he asked, his voice trembling slightly. Daniel nodded. "Yes, Tom. My family built this chain over many years. I travel often, and I like to see how guests experience our hotels and how our staff perform. That is why I am here." Tom's mind spun. Everything from yesterday suddenly felt different. He had worried about losing his job, about making a terrible impression, and now he realized that he had been serving the owners themselves. His heart pounded, a mixture of awe and embarrassment flooding him at once. Maria smiled gently, noticing his reaction. "It's okay, Tom," she said softly. "You didn't know, and you still acted kindly and responsibly. That is what matters. We were both impressed with how you handled the situation, even when it was stressful." Tom looked at her, feeling both relief and admiration. I didn't know. I didn't mean to. I just wanted to do my job well," he admitted. Daniel nodded. "And that is exactly why we appreciate you. Mistakes happen to everyone, but the way you respond with honesty and care is what makes someone truly reliable." Tom's mind replayed the water incident over and over. He remembered the splash, his panic, and his repeated apologies. Now he saw it not as a failure, but as a moment where his sincerity had mattered more than perfection. Daniel walked closer and placed a reassuring hand on Tom's shoulder. "I want to offer you an opportunity," he said. "Since you have shown care for our guests and willingness to learn from mistakes, I would like you to join a special training program to help improve your skills in hospitality. It will give you a chance to learn more about the hotel industry and advance in your career." Tom's eyes widened. He could hardly speak. "Me, really?" "Yes," Daniel replied. "You have potential. We all make mistakes, but learning from them is what counts. We want to help you grow." Maria smiled, her hand resting gently on her belly. "Tom, this is a wonderful chance for you. Don't be afraid to accept it. You've already shown that you can handle challenges with honesty and kindness." Tom took a deep breath. His embarrassment from yesterday now felt like a distant memory, replaced by gratitude and hope. I would be honored. "Thank you so much," he said sincerely. Daniel nodded. "Good, we will start tomorrow morning. I will personally ensure you have everything you need to succeed. And remember, Tom, the most important skill is how you treat people. That is what makes a true professional." Tom felt a warmth in his chest. He realized that even a small accident had led to something extraordinary. A single mistake had shown him that honesty, care, and a willingness to learn could open doors he had never imagined. Maria poured Tom a small glass of water from the table. "Here," she said gently. "I hope you will remember that water can be a symbol of new beginnings. Sometimes, even when it causes a little trouble, it can lead to something positive." Tom chuckled softly, feeling a little lighter. "I will remember that," he said. He took the glass carefully, thinking of the lesson in kindness, forgiveness, and unexpected opportunities. As the morning passed, Daniel and Maria shared a few more words with Tom about the hotel, the importance of treating guests well, and the value of patience. Tom listened intently, absorbing every word. He realized that this was more than just a job. It was a chance to grow, to learn, and to make a difference for the people he served. When he finally left the suite, Tom felt like a new person. The embarrassment from the water incident had been replaced by pride and determination. He knew he would work harder, be more attentive, and always remember the kindness shown to him. Maria and Daniel returned to their suite, smiling at each other. "I think Tom learned an important lesson," Maria said. Daniel nodded. "And so did we," he replied. "Even a small mistake can lead to growth for everyone involved. Patience and understanding always create the best results." The Oak Ridge Hotel continued its quiet elegance that morning, with guests moving through the lobby, staff attending to duties, and sunlight streaming through the tall windows. But for Tom, Maria, and Daniel, the day had already become extraordinary. A simple accident had revealed lessons of humility, generosity, and the power of second chances. Tom walked back to the kitchen and began preparing for his next tasks with renewed confidence. Each step he took reminded him of the opportunity he had been given, and he felt a deep gratitude for the couple who had shown him patience and understanding. For Maria and Daniel, the morning was peaceful. They could enjoy their breakfast, the sunlight on the balcony, and the gentle sounds of the city park below. They had experienced a small challenge together, and it had strengthened their sense of calm, patience, and understanding. The water incident, which had seemed so significant yesterday, had become a turning point in more ways than one. It was a reminder that kindness, sincerity, and calmness could transform even a stressful moment into an opportunity for growth and connection. After the morning revelation, Tom felt a mixture of awe, relief, and determination. The realization that he had been serving the owners themselves was overwhelming. Yet instead of fear or embarrassment, he felt a sense of purpose. He wanted to prove that their trust in him was well placed. Maria and Daniel spent a quiet morning in their suite, enjoying breakfast on the balcony. The city below was waking up, the park filled with the soft sounds of birds and the distant chatter of people walking along tree-lined paths. Maria took a sip of her tea and smiled at Daniel. "I think Tom needs encouragement as much as we needed patience yesterday," she said. Daniel nodded. "Yes. It is easy to be frustrated when accidents happen, but understanding and guidance can turn mistakes into lessons. I want him to feel supported, not ashamed." Meanwhile, Tom returned to the lobby. His manager, Ms. Reed, had prepared a brief orientation session for him to explain some of the finer points of guest care. Tom absorbed every word carefully. He watched the way staff interacted with guests, noting small gestures that made a difference. A gentle smile offering assistance without rushing, listening attentively. All of it became part of a mental checklist he repeated to himself. As the morning moved into early afternoon, Maria and Daniel decided to walk through the hotel gardens. The outdoor space was beautifully maintained with green lawns, colorful flowers, and small fountains scattered throughout. Guests were walking slowly, enjoying the fresh air and the warm sunlight. "Do you think Tom will be okay?" Maria asked softly. She looked around at the peaceful environment, hoping the young man would find confidence in himself. Daniel smiled. "He will. People grow through experiences, especially when they are treated with understanding and respect. Yesterday was a moment for him to learn, and today he has a chance to apply that learning." Back in the lobby, Tom was assigned to assist with guest check-ins. A family with young children approached, their luggage heavy and cumbersome. Tom greeted them politely, smiled, and offered help. He carefully lifted a suitcase, noticing the small struggles of the parents and the excitement in the children's eyes. "Thank you, young man," the father said, surprised at Tom's attentiveness. The children waved shyly at him. Tom's heart lifted. The gratitude in their voices reminded him that his work mattered. He was not perfect, but he could make a positive difference. Later, Tom noticed Maria returning to the lobby. She approached him with a warm smile. "Hi, Tom," she said. "I wanted to check how you're doing today." Tom felt a mix of nervousness and pride. I'm doing well, ma'am," he replied. "I'm trying to be careful and helpful. I want to do everything right today." Maria nodded approvingly. "You are, and I can see that you are learning from yesterday. That is what counts. Everyone makes mistakes, but not everyone learns and grows from them." Tom smiled faintly, feeling a sense of relief. He realized that forgiveness and understanding were powerful. He had feared judgment and anger, but instead he was met with kindness and guidance. It motivated him to continue improving. Later in the afternoon, Daniel came to the lobby to meet Tom personally. "I wanted to see how you are doing," he said, smiling. "And I wanted to tell you that your dedication does not go unnoticed. Even small gestures of care and attention create a lasting impact on our guests." Tom felt his confidence grow. "Thank you, sir. I'm trying my best," he said earnestly. "I don't want to make mistakes again, but I also want to serve guests properly and respectfully." Daniel nodded. "Mistakes are natural. What matters is that you respond with honesty, effort, and care. That is what builds trust and respect. I believe you have what it takes to excel." Tom left the conversation with a sense of purpose. He felt lighter, more confident, and motivated. The fear that had dominated him since the water incident was gone, replaced by determination and understanding. He began to see that mistakes were not failures, but opportunities to improve and demonstrate sincerity. Meanwhile, Maria and Daniel returned to their suite to rest before dinner. Maria looked at Daniel with a thoughtful expression. "I am glad we chose to show patience with Tom. It felt right to forgive and encourage him rather than scold him. It gave him a chance to grow, and I think it helped us too." Daniel smiled. "Yes, forgiveness is powerful. Understanding someone's intentions and recognizing their effort is always better than anger. It teaches patience, empathy, and kindness." That evening, the couple prepared to dine in the hotel's restaurant. The warm lighting, soft music, and beautifully arranged tables created an inviting atmosphere. As they settled into their seats, they noticed Tom approaching with a tray. He looked more confident than the day before, his posture upright and his hands steady. "Good evening, sir and ma'am," Tom said politely. "May I take your order?" Maria smiled at him. "Of course, Tom. Thank you for being attentive today." Tom nodded, feeling a wave of pride. He took their orders carefully, asking questions to ensure accuracy, and returned promptly with their drinks. His movements were calm, precise, and considerate. Maria and Daniel exchanged a glance, silently acknowledging the progress he had made in just one day. During the meal, Tom checked in occasionally, ensuring their needs were met without disturbing them. He observed their reactions, learning which gestures made them comfortable and which moments required more attentiveness. Each small interaction reinforced his understanding of excellent service and genuine care. After dinner, Daniel spoke to Tom privately. "You have done well today," he said. "I am proud of your effort and dedication. Keep learning, and always treat guests with respect and understanding. That is the most important skill in hospitality." Tom felt a warmth in his chest. "Thank you, sir. I will remember your advice and continue to improve," he replied sincerely. Maria added softly, "You have shown that a mistake does not define you. Forgiveness and understanding can turn any situation into a positive experience. Keep that in mind always." Tom nodded, feeling inspired. He realized that the lessons from yesterday's water incident extended far beyond the hotel lobby. They were lessons about character, patience, and the impact of kindness. As the evening drew to a close, the Oak Ridge Hotel settled into quiet elegance. Guests moved slowly through the hallways, staff attended to final tasks, and the soft lighting created a calm and welcoming environment. Tom walked back to the staff quarters with a sense of accomplishment. He had learned that day that understanding and forgiveness could transform mistakes into opportunities. He resolved to continue growing, serving guests with sincerity, and demonstrating care in every interaction. Maria and Daniel returned to their suite, reflecting on the day. "It feels good to have helped someone grow," Maria said softly. Daniel nodded. "Yes, forgiveness is never a sign of weakness. It is a choice to guide, support, and encourage growth. Tom has learned a valuable lesson, and so have we." The couple rested that night with a sense of peace, knowing that their patience and understanding had created a positive impact. They had experienced firsthand the power of forgiveness, the importance of kindness, and the value of teaching rather than judging. The Oak Ridge Hotel continued to shine in its quiet elegance, the lessons of the day lingering not only in the young waiter's heart, but also in the hearts of those who witnessed the gentle power of understanding and forgiveness. For Tom, Maria, and Daniel, the day had been a turning point. A small accident had led to growth, new opportunities, and stronger connections. It showed that patience, encouragement, and empathy could transform lives and build a lasting sense of respect and trust. The next morning at the Oak Ridge Hotel was calm and bright. Sunlight streamed through the tall glass doors, filling the lobby with warmth. Guests moved gracefully across the marble floors, some checking out, some enjoying breakfast, and others simply taking in the beauty of the hotel. The scent of fresh flowers mingled with the aroma of coffee and baked goods, creating a peaceful atmosphere. Maria and Daniel prepared for the day. Maria dressed comfortably for their planned walk in the nearby city park, while Daniel ensured their suite was tidy and ready for departure later that afternoon. Maria adjusted her hair in the mirror, glancing at her reflection with a gentle smile. She felt calm and happy, the memory of yesterday's water incident already a distant thought. Daniel noticed her smile. "Ready for a relaxing morning?" he asked. "Yes," Maria replied softly. "I am glad we came here. Everything feels peaceful now." Meanwhile, Tom arrived for his morning shift. He felt a renewed sense of purpose after the previous day's events. The opportunity given to him by Daniel and Maria had filled him with determination to improve and grow. He knew that every action, every small gesture mattered, and that he could make a difference in the guests' experiences. His first task of the day was to prepare the breakfast area. He arranged glasses, napkins, and cutlery with care, making sure everything was neat and orderly. As he worked, he remembered Daniel's words about treating guests with respect and understanding. He focused on being attentive, calm, and helpful in every moment. Soon Maria and Daniel walked into the lobby, ready for their morning stroll. Tom noticed them immediately and felt a wave of gratitude. He approached politely. "Good morning, sir, ma'am," he said. "I hope you slept well." Maria smiled warmly. "Good morning, Tom. Yes, we did." "Thank you for asking," Daniel nodded. "It is good to see you this morning." "How are you feeling?" Tom straightened, his nervousness replaced by confidence. "I feel ready for the day, sir. I want to make sure you enjoy your stay." Daniel smiled. "That is exactly the right attitude." "Thank you, Tom." Maria and Daniel exited the hotel to begin their walk in the city park. The path was lined with trees, their leaves rustling softly in the gentle morning breeze. Children played on swings, couples walked hand in hand, and birds chirped melodiously in the trees. Maria felt her hand rest on her belly, sensing the baby's movements. She smiled at Daniel. "This is wonderful," she said softly. "It feels so calm and beautiful here." Daniel nodded. "Yes, and it feels even better knowing we handled yesterday's incident with patience and understanding. It shows that kindness has a lasting effect." As they strolled, Maria reflected on Tom and the water incident. "I hope he realizes how much our trust and patience mean to him," she said. "I'm sure he does," Daniel replied. "And he will continue to grow from it. Sometimes small events have a big impact on people's lives." Meanwhile, Tom continued his work at the hotel. He assisted guests with their needs, delivered breakfast, and ensured everything ran smoothly. He noticed small details that made the guests feel welcome, a gentle smile offering help before it was asked, listening attentively to their requests. Each interaction reminded him of Daniel's words about sincerity and care. Later in the morning, Maria and Daniel returned to the hotel. They entered the lobby and saw Tom assisting another guest. His confidence and calm demeanor impressed them both. Maria smiled. "He has truly improved," she said softly. Daniel nodded. "Yes, yesterday was a turning point for him. It is rewarding to see someone learn and grow so quickly." and it reminds us that patience and understanding can make a real difference. After checking in at the front desk for a brief moment, Maria and Daniel decided to return to their suite to prepare for their departure. They walked through the hallways, noticing how peaceful and organized the hotel felt. Staff moved quietly and efficiently, and the sunlight streaming through the windows highlighted the elegance of the building. Tom noticed their return and approached with a respectful smile. "Sir, ma'am, may I help you with anything before your departure?" Daniel smiled. "Thank you, Tom. Everything is fine. I just wanted to see how you are doing." Tom straightened, feeling a mixture of pride and gratitude. "I am doing well, sir. I am learning from yesterday and trying to give our guests the best experience possible." Maria nodded, her smile gentle. "You are doing very well, Tom. Keep learning and growing. It will take you far." Tom felt a warm sense of accomplishment. He realized that the kindness and guidance he had received had not only helped him improve at work, but also taught him the value of patience, understanding, and forgiveness. After a few moments, Daniel spoke to Tom privately. "I want to thank you for your efforts today and yesterday. You have shown that you can learn from mistakes, and that is a valuable skill. Keep working hard and you will go far in life." Tom bowed his head respectfully. "Thank you, sir. I will do my best," Maria added softly. "Remember, Tom, that a single mistake does not define you. What defines you is how you respond, how you learn, and how you treat others. Keep that in mind always." Tom felt inspired by their words. He understood now that his actions mattered more than his fears or mistakes. Every small gesture of kindness, every moment of attention and care could leave a lasting impact. Later, Daniel and Maria prepared to leave the hotel. They collected their belongings, checked the suite, and made their way to the lobby. The staff greeted them politely, and Tom approached to assist with their luggage. His hands were steady, his movements confident, and his smile genuine. "Thank you for your help, Tom," Daniel said. "You have been very attentive." Tom smiled humbly. "It was my pleasure, sir." "I hope you enjoyed your stay," Maria nodded. "We did very much. Thank you for making our visit comfortable. I hope you continue to grow and succeed. You have a bright future ahead of you." Tom felt a sense of fulfillment he had never experienced before. He realized that the water incident, which had caused him so much anxiety, had ultimately led to growth, understanding, and new opportunities. It reminded him that life's small challenges often carry lessons that shape the future. As Maria and Daniel exited the hotel, Tom watched them go with a sense of accomplishment. He returned to his work, motivated to continue improving, assisting guests, and applying the lessons he had learned. The Oak Ridge Hotel, with its elegance and quiet charm, had become more than just a workplace. It had become a place of growth, learning, and meaningful human connection. For Maria and Daniel, the weekend had been a success. They had enjoyed the hotel's beauty, the calmness of the city park, and the comfort of their suite. They had also experienced firsthand the impact of kindness, patience, and forgiveness. The small water accident had become a meaningful story, reminding them that even mistakes could lead to positive outcomes. As they traveled back home, Maria rested her hand on her belly, smiling softly. "I am glad we showed understanding and patience," she said. Daniel nodded, holding her hand gently. "Yes, it taught us that forgiveness and guidance can change lives. Tom will remember this day forever, and so will we. It is a reminder that kindness and empathy always matter." The Oak Ridge Hotel continued its calm elegance, sunlight reflecting off the marble floors and flowers brightening every corner. Guests moved quietly, staff attended to duties with care, and the lessons of patience and understanding lingered in the air. Tom, now more confident and inspired than ever, continued his work with renewed energy. He knew that his mistakes did not define him, but his effort, sincerity, and willingness to learn did. He carried the lesson in his heart, that kindness and understanding could transform moments of tension into opportunities for growth and connection. For everyone involved, the water incident had become more than an accident. It had become a story of growth, patience, and the lasting power of human kindness. Maria and Daniel left the hotel with joy, knowing that a small act of understanding had created ripples of positive change. Tom stayed behind, ready to embrace a new chapter in his life, confident, attentive, and inspired. The Oak Ridge Hotel, elegant and welcoming, remained a place where small gestures mattered, lessons were learned, and human connections grew stronger every day. A single moment of misunderstanding had transformed into a lifetime of learning, proving that patience, forgiveness, and sincerity could shape the future in unexpected and wonderful ways.